During the Me Too movement, I mentioned this previously, there's an article that came out in Vogue magazine, and the reporter, the journalist, she had said that every woman should be listened to and every woman should be trusted. And right when I saw that, I immediately wrote to the editor of the magazine. I said, why the fuck would you publish this? And my angle was, if you're saying every woman should be listened to and every woman should be trusted, that means every man is guilty. That's the counter to that. Because every woman should be. So if a woman makes up stuff, you have to still believe her.
You don't know, Cam? A scorned woman is very truthful.
Yeah.
Very truthful.
Right? So there's so many stories, and they don't really get as much media attention, of men who've been falsely accused.
I do agree with that, because it's not even that. Just putting up that statement there alone makes a man feel less than, because you're cornering him in that sense, and you're saying you're automatically a liar. Doesn't matter what you're a liar.
Right. Christian, there's a if you want to look this up, about this white overweight woman who accused like 5 black kids of SA, and then later on was caught lying about all of it. This is in the U.S.
Oh, is this the football players?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So these young kids, like in their teens, she accused 5 of them or 6 of them, and she went to the point of physically hitting herself with a hammer.
Oh, I think I did hear
on her
about
arms
that.
and her face, and bruised herself, and said that they gang raped her, and it all came out. And when the accusations came out, all of these kids were kicked out of school, I believe. Some of them had football scholarships that got canceled. Their families got death threats. Their windows were broken. They were terrified, blah, blah, blah. And their lives were completely destroyed. Their families' lives were destroyed, saying, your children are rapists and they're disgusting, and how did you raise them? And they attacked. It's not, because it was so horrific that it wasn't just one guy, it was 5 guys who supposedly attacked this woman. And when the police further started investigating it, they saw holes in the story. And eventually, she confessed that she lied and made the entire thing up. And there's no repercussion.
And that's
actually, you know what, Chris, she got arrested.
I was gonna say, I think
this was one of the ones who actually got arrested and charged. I don't know what happened to her if she got convicted.
Good. That's good.
But that one part's good. But these 5 kids, their lives are ruined. They're never gonna get a scholarship.
No.
Because even after she came out and got caught lying, you gotta realize not everybody heard that as well. So a lot of people still believe that these guys are bad.
Or they're probably saying, oh, she's saying that because they're threatening her, or something like
whatever.
Whatever.
But a lot of people haven't heard that.
The stigma
she
will
was
follow
caught.
them.
And these guys, their lives are destroyed. They're never going to get that back. That's the part that bothers me. Like, if you're going to say that all women should be believed, then that also means that all women should be held accountable.
Yes.
It cannot be just all. It should be all of them should be believed, and the ones who make false allegations should also be held accountable. That is a good. I agree that all women should be heard. I totally believe that. But even then, you have to listen to the story, and that, if there is something that's factual, then you support them. But if you sense that they're lying and making false allegations, there should be consequences for that individual. Right? So now finally there's a bit of a pushback coming, but even today, in the dating world, a lot of men are terrified of dating a woman because they're worried that if I don't call her the next day, or I have no interest in her anymore, that she might post some negative shit about me, saying that I did something that I didn't do. And next thing you know, the authorities are knocking on my door. I've lost my job. People are attacking me on social media. When all I did is I just didn't call the girl back.
There's a TikTok series about you now?
Yeah.
Like
listen, you all know, you have girlfriends. You must know some girls, whether present or in the past, that if the guy is, that they liked, they went out once or twice and he's no longer interested, that they're pissed. You girls know people like that? That get upset because the guy's no longer, come on.
I mean, they're upset.
Yeah. So how did they're upset, right?
Yeah, but they don't go around saying like, oh, they did this to me or they did that to me. Like, that's a little like overboard.
But they might also kind of get this sour grape attitude. Well, I didn't like him anyhow. Like, you know,
Well, yeah.
I'm happy that he did that because he saved me because I know he's a creeper.
You know, men do this too. When they come up to a girl and they're like, "Oh, you're so beautiful," like, let me get you on the, and the girl like rejects them, they'll be like, "Oh, you were bad anyways."
I get that.
You know?
I get that. You're totally right on that because a lot of men will kind of like catcall whatever, and then the girl doesn't reply, and the next thing you know, they're calling her names. Yeah, those are pigs, right? So unfortunately, it comes with the territory, right? So men are like that. But a woman as well too, if a guy dates her and she's like totally into this guy, and then he doesn't kind of give her back the same reaction that he's totally into her and doesn't really pursue her, their feelings get hurt, right? And then now they start hating on the guy. Do you know people like that, Carly?
I mean, like, I'm so sorry to say that, but like, being a woman myself, I know like women can be very devious about things. So like, when it comes to relationship, like it's just like, it's either like the guy, like if the guy likes this girl and he doesn't reply text or he doesn't do whatever she wants him to do, like, and even if they're not in a relationship, like they're just seeing each other, like the girl can lie about anything.
Yeah.
Like to their friends, to their family, to this guy too. Like she can just lie about like, oh, like I've never had a relationship before. Like maybe she's seeing all these guys and everything. And then there's also these women that lies about, like I think I have friends that does that, but I kind of don't remember what happens anymore. It's very bad. Like it ended very bad. So like I've seen like a few that happens. That's why like I know how like this world nowadays is just, you can't really trust anybody. I'm not saying just men, women too. Like it's not the same anymore.
I'm happy you're honest.
And I have a friend who was married for over 20 years, and I watched her. I was a bridesmaid at her wedding.
Yeah.
And he wasn't a very good guy. He was funny. He was a good earner. She really wanted the status and the money that he provided.
Stability.
Oh yeah, she wanted that status though too. And I remember he did do something once and she forgave him. And I said, "Oh, I thought you were thinking of leaving him." She goes, "Oh, you know, Lola, I just can't give up the lifestyle." A year later, he found a younger woman, came to her and said, "I don't love you anymore." And they got divorced. And then later also, she would talk about him. They had 3 children together. And she goes, "Oh, don't mention his name." I mean, but you made the choice of marrying this man. You have 3 children. And we can't even say his name. Like, are you not responsible a little bit too for choosing this man and
staying with him?
So that was interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now all of a sudden, because he decided to move on,
Yeah.
then the woman's upset and she's hurt.
Yes, she got very upset.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to bash on women. I'm not saying all women are this way.
No,
But
I have some good friends.
there's a beautiful quote that I tend to tell people, and this is, a woman has the power to make a peasant into a king and a king into a peasant. It's really deep. So a woman can take a man who's nothing and support him with love and dedication and compassion, and he can conquer the world. At the same time, a woman can meet a man who's already conquering the world and bring him down to nothing. Men don't have that power. A man cannot break a woman. He can try, he can affect her, but to break her, that's why you always see like all the shit about men, like in songs and shit about, there's always like some girl that fucked him over, now he's with his dog and his truck and his whiskey, and that's what he sings about, me and my dog and my whiskey and whatever the fuck he's talking.
Riding shotgun.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And you can always meet him and he's always like, he's just hung up on this one girl.
Yeah.
You don't really see that with women. She might, but she still will be able to move on and meet some other guy. But some men, when they get broken, that's it, they throw in the towel. That's how much power a woman has over. And ironically, prior to that, when the guy was, younger and with his boys, he didn't even give a shit about women. They never had that power over him. So men go through this phase that, I give this analogy, it's really funny. So I kind of look at it and I say this about myself as well. Men, like, I'm not talking about these, fucking men who wear like nail polish and shit. I'm not talking about, I'm talking about like a man, a real man, okay? Not men who cry every week to their girlfriend, like whatever. Jimmy at work was really mean to me again, During break, he wouldn't stop making fun of me, and I really hate Jimmy. And you're like, it's okay, sweetheart. And then he goes to work, and I don't want to go to work because Jimmy's working. I'm not talking about those type of men, right? But a real man who takes responsibility for himself, and he understands, whatever he does, he's going to be held accountable. He's got to look out for himself, whatever. So I look at like, men are like a herd of wild horses, okay?
Interesting.
At a young age. They're wild, they run free, completely free. Nobody can tame them, they don't give a shit, and they'll run wild whenever they want, at whatever time they want, and they go wherever they want, right? What happens then is you have a young girl who'll be with her papa, and they'll be riding in the field, and papa's like, okay, sweetheart, we're gonna find you a horse. And then she'll come out, and there'll be like this herd of wild horses, and she'll look at the wildest one and go, Daddy, I want that one. And so Daddy will, get a rope and a bunch of his people that work for him and get this horse, right? Put him in the trailer, take him back to the farm, and now he'll get people to break the horse. So now this horse doesn't like to be kept. He's wild. He's always been wild. That's what he lives for. And now the horse, day by day, will start to get broken. You'll have people training him, putting a saddle on him, and he's gonna buck and kick and throw these fucking people off. But then he realizes if he wants food, he has to calm down a bit. But he's still got that wildness in him, right? And then one day after a couple of weeks, because he's, 40, 50% broken into, this girl will come along. And she'll come out. And while he's tied down with like 4 ropes to hold him down, she'll start patting his face. I was like, oh, wait, I never felt this before. I've never seen someone like this. This is so soft and so beautiful. And so he kind of calms down a bit. And she might ride him once, and he'll buck her to throw her off, and then he'll feel bad for it. And then now, he'll calm down for the woman. And now every day she's gonna ride this horse and enjoy it. Every day she rides him, and he looks forward to it. He's always looking forward to morning time for that horse to come, the woman to come out. And the way that she feeds him is so gentle compared to the other people, the way she brushes him, and the attention she gives him. And he never got that before, right? And months and months and months go by, and he falls in love with the way that this woman treats him. And then one fucking day, she stops coming.
The new toy isn't shiny anymore.
And and now it's to the point where you don't have to even tie a rope to just loosely tie us, and you have to tie, the horse not gonna run away anymore. And now he's just there, and it's raining, and it's this, and days and weeks, and he's there. And now he's broken, right? So some men, what?
He's like depressed.
Yeah, he's broken.
Yeah.
And now he can't go back to the wild, because he doesn't want that life. Because this touch that this woman had, he hasn't had that touch ever. He hasn't gotten that kind of love and compassion ever before. He was buck wild. That's so sweet. But is that, so I'm talking about some men, again, not all, that's them.
Yeah.
And now when the man is broken, he's done. He's gonna live, and now he's gonna fuck who rides him. A fat ass guy can, now they can put him in a circus and shit, like do whatever you want to this horse. He's broken, right? His spirit's gone. So some men, based on my analogy, when you go to real life, some men are like that, where some woman broke their heart and they can never recover. Women, all women, I don't care who the woman is, even if she has a broken heart, she will survive, and she will be able to move on to another man. She will. She can control that and just, not show it and live with the pain. Do women agree what I'm saying or not?
Yes.
Kind of and kind of not, because it's okay until you see that person you think you're over with somebody else, and that somebody else under their arm, and then the urges can start coming back. But after so long, no.
Yeah, you can move on.
Because time heals all wounds, essentially, right? So yeah.
Lola, what do you think?
I think, on the most part, the majority, yes. But I've witnessed a woman that thought she had a perfect marriage too, as in in the nursing community, and her husband left her, and she was broken and died early. Like I just remember how sweet she was and how she actually quit nursing as soon as he divorced her. She just faded away.
I agree with you. I mean, I think that's the exception.
That isn't actually that's the exception.
I think
I've seen it
overall,
the other,
like Sarah, what do you think? Do
No,
you think that women can move on, even though they're heartbroken? They can move on, whereas some men just can't.
Well, I don't know about men, but for me, yeah, I can. I've only been alone once.
Just straight out blunt, I can.
Can't you?
Mina, do you agree with what I'm saying, or?
Yeah, I do. Like, I don't know. I heard this thing that like guys never get over their first love. I don't know.
That's true. Mine still calls me. He still shows up at my work 20 years later.
Oh, wow.
That's all that.
I agree with what you're saying. It really depends on what age the guy was when he experienced that first love, right? So if it was at a very early age, he will get over it later on in his life, right? But if it was at a later age, it was actually a mature man where he actually wanted a family and the whole deal, yeah, he's fucked. But at a young age, he's like 20, he lives at home, and he fell in love with a girl, he's gonna meet somebody else he'll be even more in love with. But if he was like at the position in his life where he's ready now to be with a woman and start a family, and then that woman broke his heart, not all men can recover. But you do believe that
Women move on.
women are able to, they have the inner strength. They can hide that pain better than a man and be able to just suppress it and get over it and move on.
I think, yeah, because women already generally have to deal with hiding their pain. Like, you know, they're just the way life is, like periods, whatever. Like, we're always hiding our pain. We don't show, oh, I'm cramping, I can't go to work. We still go to work. So I think women have just gotten better at hiding their pain, and they have to move on to kind of, you know, live the rest of their life. They can't just be stuck in one spot.
Okay, but do you not also, yep.
I just wanted to say, I read this thing on Instagram once, and I was trying to pull it up for you, but, and they say that for men, it takes the same amount of relationship days, it takes them the same amount of that in weeks to get over, in months to get over
Wow.
the relationship.
That's insane.
Yeah, whereas
Interesting.
with women,
deep.
they say
Yeah.
that it's the same amount in weeks.
Well, I'm engaged, but I would say the same. Like, if, like, touch wood, like, I'm seriously touching wood. Like, if, like, me and my fiance broken up, I'm sorry to say that, but I'm gonna recover very quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He'll be shattered.
Like, I mean, yes, because you just said, like, because we met actually at the age of, like in college, my
Yeah.
first year and his second year. So it's, like, 19, 20, 18? I don't know. Yeah, and then we've been together since now. Like, I'm
Oh, wow.
27, he's 28.
Yeah.
So if we've broken up, I do think that he's gonna be broken
Yeah, for a while.
more than me. And I can probably recover it in like a month or two, or maybe a little longer. Definitely not like a whole entire year.
Wow.
Then I can go back out. Like,
I love the honesty.
I was
you
just
want.
going to
I
say the
really appreciate that.
transparency
Thank
in
you.
these answers were great.
I like that because most of it, no, that's not true. I'd be heartbroken forever. You know?
Well, do you think women have more support systems though?
Yeah.
And they could talk with their friends
Really good
more?
point.
And I
Really
feel like
good point.
it's more acceptable if we do cry and get out that extra energy, whereas men don't get that, and then they kind of get down on themselves, and it's like they can't, I don't want to say function, but it's like they can't process or comprehend what they need to properly.